Wall of Fame. We've got a few Wall of Famers tonight, but we'll start right on the top. During his 40 years of playing softball, our first inductee played with some of softball greats teams, including the Runts, the Blues, Bud North, Meadows, the Sun Times, the Shooters, the March team, and Wally Peck's Registers team. He played outfield with some of the legendary players. He was voted MVP of the North-South tournament and was selected as a first-team All-American in '91. My guy, Danny Briquette. Come on up, Danny. Dan Briquette. Let's not do a 4-hour now.
Thank you. We're going to get right back on schedule. This is not going to be a long speech. I don't know how I could follow the last young gentleman here. He brought the house down. I'd like to thank the Hall. I'd like to thank Ray and Fritz Zimmerman for nominating me. I'd like to thank my family who was here tonight, my wife, Ellen, my brother, Larry, and all the players that I've played with. I'm not going to list them right now. The Rollers and Blues who are being honored tonight, Huey and Sal Vasta. Donnie, I don't know why you mentioned Aberdeen. This was not supposed to be talked about tonight. Johnny Friel, I hear you. Thank you very much.
I told you gotta love this guy. A beautiful speech. Danny Briquette. Okay, our next Wall of Fame inductee started organizing pickup softball games after he returned home from his tour of duty in Vietnam and finished college. He played for the Leftovers, the Old Strokes, the Strokers, the Gillette Strokers. He also served as a league commissioner, really, at Clyde Park and Genera Park. He also volunteers at Hine VA Hospital. The Hall of Fame honors Jim Stein. Mr. Stein, come on up.
I think I might know that person. But anyway, I want to thank the Hall of Fame for this because it's truly a great honor to be included with such a great organization and great softball players. One of the things that I think we all share, which brought me back after about a 20-year hiatus, that is the love of the game, the competition, and the friendships that we make over the years. I mean, it's truly one of the outstanding parts of the game. I want to thank my wife, who, when I told her I was thinking of going back to playing softball, her and my daughter said it was a good idea. I just left out the point that it was going to be Friday nights, Thursday nights, and Monday nights, and of course, fall ball. And I want to thank all my teammates who put up with my nonsense for all these years, and also my competitors, because they made me a better ball player. And there's two people that I really would like to thank. One of them is my little buddy and fellow Hall of Famer, Jimmy Quinn. And the other one is Billy Cavanaugh. Jimmy Quinn asked me that almost 30 years ago about playing with the Leftovers. And I thought, go ahead, just give it a try. I just didn't realize I'd be trying with it for 30 years. And then Billy Cavanaugh, who nominated me for this outstanding evening, that at least for the Stein family. And Jimmy and Billy, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you both, because I know if it wasn't for the two of you, I wouldn't be standing here tonight. So thank you very much.
Okay, that was Jim Stein. Thanks, Jim. Our next inductee played 6 in softball from 1975 to 2005, with his peak years 1980 to 2004. During these years, his teams won many tournaments and league titles. He was considered to be one of the finest defensive first basemen of his era. In addition to having great hands and stretching ability, he had tremendous range, quickness, and softball smarts. His large, still mutilated fingers are a testament to his ability to catch everything thrown his way. And by the way, he is the father of one of my favorite players, one of the top players right now in the game, none other than Kevin Duff of Signature. Let's bring up Kevin's father. Let's do that, okay? The Hall of Fame honors Tom Duff.
Tom runs up there, maybe. I might be the first guy inducted because of his kid. Of course, I want to thank the Hall of Fame Board of Directors for this humbling award. I never really thought it was possible. When I got the call from Ron a few months ago, oh wow, it's still hard to believe. Well, I played probably well over 2,000 games in my life. And by the modern sabermetrics, I was probably only tossed out about 417 of them. But there wasn't one game where walking onto the field and crossing the chalked lines that didn't bring butterflies to my stomach. That fresh moment, and I was lucky enough to be a first baseman, my one friend calls them chimpanzee feet. When you get that brand new clincher tossed to you by the ump, it was just a thrill each and every time. I'd pound it into the ground, you'd rub it around your hands, you'd start up the ritual, throwing around the infield for the pregame warm-up. There's just nothing like it. Like almost every player, I started out with a neighborhood team, and that was clockwork in Oak Park. It was a pretty good league, and the home of a good number of Hall of Famers as well. Our clockwork team grew and grew, but it still took over 10 years before we were able to win that damn title. And winning over our dear friends and Hall of Famer Jimmy Walsh and his brother Johnny and the OJs was second to none. Getting over that hump over our rivals in 1987 was the ultimate. But my mom, now 88 years young and right over here, probably enjoyed it more than any of us. We went on to win more titles in Oak Park, Cos, and Reese as this clockwork team and a good number of other tournaments, none better than taking home the Hammond Park tournament a few times. I'd be remiss not to thank the core guys that made up this clockwork team. Just bear with me. My brothers John and Jim, Doc Greco, Larry Joyce, Dennis Moore, John Kelly. They're all here. That's why I have to say it, right? Mike Shanahan, Bobby Marino, Bobby Kish, God rest your soul, Bobby. Wally Blage, Billy Generis, Frank Weiser, the Romero brothers, Steve Scrine, fellow Hall of Famer Dan Sheik Carmody, who couldn't make it here tonight. In the later years, even my son Kevin, who I was so fortunate to have won a league championship with and at least one tournament title together. For the top leagues I was fortunate to play in, I have to say the trio of Portage, Hammond, and Clarendon ranked right up there with the best. They'd play the early leagues at 6:30, then the late ones under the lights. What this all comes down to again is what is at the heart of our game. It's all about the guys who play it, the respect, camaraderie, loyalty, and having each other's backs. Well, we've always been competitive as hell and many times at each other's throats. But that's a competitive fire we all have to be a champion. It's truly a privilege to be up here, even more so to know that it is not about me at all, about having a place inside so many greats in our game, but really a reflection of every one of the amazing guys I was so honored to play with. All I ever really wanted to be was a teammate, just one of the guys. There's simply no better honor than that. And finally, I want to say a special thanks to my family and friends for all the support and being here tonight. To my mom, my brothers and sisters, and my buddies, and of course, my dear wife, Pam, our son, Kevin, and our daughters, Liz, Kelly, and Maggie. Thank you so much, everybody.
Mr. Duff. From my hometown. Our next Wall of Fame honoree started his softball career at Calumet Park after he returned from service in Vietnam in 1968. He started a 5-decade career, wow, with the East Siders as a pitcher and an outfielder. In 1976, he had 3 home runs to help his team win the championship of the Vets tournament at Cal Park. He received the MVP. This is a great player here, folks. The Hall of Fame honors Ron Allure. Come on up, Ronnie. East Siders.
Yeah, he must have practiced that name. I understand it was supposed to be a speech here under 2 minutes, so I didn't really prepare anything for, I got some good stories in the book, but, that's another time. Anyway, I want to start with thanking my teammates and longtime friends who are in attendance tonight, and I love them all, for this prestigious event. I would also like to thank everyone here for showing their support of this annual Hall of Fame inductees dinner. And I want to thank my loving wife, Fran, for the many sacrifices she made and the many functions I was late to during tournaments on the weekends. I also want to thank my daughter, Nikki, who recently started a new job in Seattle, Washington, and could not be here tonight. And I thank God for being able to play the game I love for the last 5 decades. In closing, I would like to say it is an honor and a great pleasure to be inducted into the Hall of Fame family. Thank you all.
That's Big Ron Allure. Okay, we're at the end of the Wall of Fame. This is our last guy, but sometimes we save the best for last. Our final Wall of Fame award started playing softball with his buddies on the Den and the Alley teams at Amundsen Park and Kosciuszko Park. He led Blue Max in hitting when they won the championship at the Cicero Clyde tournament. He's also won a life tournament. He played for the Takers and currently plays with the Crush and the March team. I know this guy well. I like this guy. Let's bring him up. Phil Tondeli. Come on up, Phil.
Thanks all. George, that's $50. I'll pay you later. Appreciate it. I first would like to thank the Hall of Fame committee and the whole board of directors for putting on this great show and giving somebody an opportunity to come up and say thank you to the people that he's played with, both in terms of teammates and competitors, because a lot of the people that we played with had passion against us, and we played with as much passion, I hope, against them. I'd also like to take this time to talk about 2 people that are no longer with us, Jimmy Giblin and Bob Sobcheski. I know you're looking down on us guys, so Sobe and Jazz, here's to you, buddy. I'd also like to thank Rich Chubbs Polfus for nominating me and for just being such a great guy to the point where he does so many things for other people. I really appreciate the fact that he keeps that top of mind and he really decides to help people, bar none. I'd like to thank my family, they're all here tonight. Some of them came in from California. I'd like to thank my lovely wife, Jan. We've been married 40 years. Honey, I love you. Thanks for putting up with me. I'd like to thank my sons, Danny and Jason, their wives, Anna and Jen, and I've got 3 lovely grandchildren. So this game has really gotten me to the point where I'm really thankful for having me let me play this time with everybody and having enjoyed it as a family. I'd also like to take this time to acknowledge my brother Tony. Tony started playing softball before I did. He was a better ball player in the family. He played shortstop for the Beavers, and he said, Phil, it's a pretty cool game. You should check it out. So I got involved started playing some softball with some of my buddies out of college. And I really love his competitiveness, because if there's a more competitive person on this earth than my brother Tony, I haven't met you yet. So Tony, I want to say thank you for being my brother. I love you, buddy. And I'm going to share this with you, pal. Love you. Thank you.
Philip Tondeli. Remember that name, Tondeli.